What up, everybody? It's me, Rolando. Welcome back to the SYSBM zone of my channel. You know what it is. This man you see in the photo here, you know who he is. Mr. Nick Cannon. So Mr. Nick Cannon is supposedly a Hotep now. Okay? Got his own show now called The Cannons or whatever. That's supposed to be a black empowerment podcast or whatever you want to call it. And I got to say, Nick Cannon is a clown. Now, I was on a live stream last night when Tommy Sotomayor was critiquing and breaking down his quote-unquote interview with Professor Griff that actually got him banned, I guess, from CBS and a couple of other major network entities in Hollywood and the entertainment industry of other of Hollywood major label studios because of supposed anti-Semitic comments he made about Jewish folks on his podcast. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I know I don't really care because Nick Cannon, this is what he pretty much deserves for, being signed over to the powers that be, allowing him to do things, and then right after that wants to get on a pro-black tip. And I see this as a pattern with a lot of Afro-American black celebrities. After Hollywood is done with them, or the music industry is done with them, they tend to go Hotep or pro-black. Very interesting. Okay? Now, I don't know what is the cause of this awakening. Maybe it's because I guess they felt that they've been dealt bad in a certain way. Yeah, maybe. Okay, that might be the case. But why is it that they tend to always go this route? There are other levels that you could do. I mean, you've got enough money, and Nick Cannon's got enough money. Now, I don't know what his net worth is. It might be in the millions. I know that part. It might be slightly in the millions, probably 1.5 million something. I don't know. But I know his stuff is in the millions. Okay? And he's done pretty good for himself. For a brother that's around my age, or a little about he's about 2 years older than me. I can say he's made it out for himself. I will give him that. But what I don't understand is that he just got pretty much ousted from these other networks that he probably would have done dealings with eventually. But then he had to just do a podcast to go against the grain with the people that already employed him. Why are you doing this? Are you feeling that compelled to go Hotep because you have had this freaking awakening? And some of the stuff that him and Griff were talking about, that's AKA Professor Griff, better known to you OGs that know him best as the... He basically was, I don't think he even really rapped on the group. He was just their militant bodyguard on the group of Public Enemy. Because the most ones that were really emceeing on the group was Flavor Flav and Chuck D. Now, I'm not really a big fan of the group. I know that the group is a part of hip-hop history, and I know that they're the ones started the militant hip-hop, to go against the grain, against the powers that be. But that's a questionable for another story. At this point in time, I think that Public Enemy is pretty much sold out. Because recently the controversy behind their split was Flavor Flav and Chuck D were at it over the course of last about 2-3 months ago, whether or not one of them was going to support Bernie Sanders in the Democratic Party. I know y'all read about that, and that came out, and that was a big deal 2 to 3, 4 months ago. But now, of course, COVID-19 is taking over, and this is what we're dealing with currently right now. But that's another topic, another story. Back to Mr. Nick Cannon. So Nick Cannon now is doing a podcast called The Cannons on his own little podcast. It might be on Sirius XM radio somehow. And he had this recent interview with Professor Griff, formerly of Public Enemy, talking about Afro-American black folks and our continued struggle with trying to find who we are, and we're trying to find our true selves, that we're the original gods and kings and queens and all this kind of stuff. And as I was hearing this, I had to laugh. I had to literally laugh because Nick Cannon, I'm here to to put you on the roast. You've done all these movies, all these silly, gimmicks that have made you quite a bit well established to say that you are in the millionaire crew of elite people out there. Now, maybe not so much now. I don't know what you've done with your money. Hopefully, you've invested your money well. You've had shows like Wildn'Out, various other types of things out here. America's Got Talent. You were on there. Then you left there for controversies. I forget why you left there, but it had something to do with about a black issue. I don't know. I don't care. But at the same damn time, you've done pretty well with yourself, and I will commend you, brother, for being somebody that's near close to my age. You're around my age. You're about a little older than me, and you've done well for yourself. But when I see that you are doing what every other Afro-American black celebrity does when they get ousted by the elite entertainment commercialized industry, y'all tend to go into this pro-black mode. And this pro-black stuff is disingenuous. It really is. Hoteps, I will never like them, and I will never agree with Hoteps, because the whole time that these same Hoteps in these Back to Africas, as so eloquently Mr. Carroll puts it, are a damn joke, because they're not really putting the integral things to task. And they're not, and a lot of these Hoteps don't want to put this BAW to task. And that's the problem. So you got a lot of these celebrities like Nick Cannon. Oh, and there's many others. You got what's her name now? She's all of a sudden, though she's dated so many Caucasian men, I don't really even believe what the hell she says. And she recently had an interview with Diddy, talking about some stuff. Naomi Campbell. And then well into the interview, Griff going to have the nerve to talk about Erykah Badu. Need I say more about her? Jill Scott, many more others who are claiming Hotep. David Banner, that's another one. Okay. I mean, who's next? I mean, Halle Berry? I mean, who's next? Shamar Moore? What? Wesley Snipes? What? I don't know. Christopher Williams? I mean, no. I mean, who's next? Who's next? Oh, I know. Bobby Brown of New Edition. He's next. No, how about Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike? Maybe they might be next to be on some pro-black stuff. And then, what all they're going to do? They're going to arrive on Vlad TV show. Another culture vulture who tries to cause controversy. Mr. Vlad TV. Yes, you know who I'm talking about. And Nick Cannon has showed up on there so many damn times. He's like a damn regular on Vlad TV, talking to just the manure that comes from his mouth. I don't believe anything that Nick Cannon says. I'm not buying what he says. I think he's doing this because he's butthurt that Hollywood didn't take him serious no more. He quit a couple of times because of his so-called beliefs, and then turns around and then he gets shut down. Talking about, okay, they're telling him, okay, Nick, you really can't come back to any of these major studios in Hollywood. You can't. We're just not going to have your anti-Semitic comments. So now he's going through this, and I really don't feel sorry for him. I really don't. See, I hold people to task on my damn channel. I ain't gonna sit up here and defend everybody that is a person of color and say, oh, well, I stand by them and all that. No, I don't do that no more. Okay? Because Nick Cannon is not doing anything productive. And this is, really productive that's really putting anybody in a better position. Is Nick Cannon hiring other Afro-American men to help him run his stuff? No, he's not. He's doing this with somebody else, probably females. I don't know who else. Maybe he might be doing it with somebody that maybe a family member, somebody that's near and dear close to him. I don't see Nick Cannon doing anything. And he really doesn't really have to. But at the same damn time, I don't see how productive Nick Cannon's really being entering into this this arena of Hotep, pro-black, back to Africa type stuff. It doesn't make any sense. And he might be butthurt. I mean, look what this dude is wearing on his head. Okay? Now, I know it's supposed to be a fashion statement, but, I mean, I guess it suits him now, since he's had it for such a while now. And, you know, he has various, you know, turbans now, you know, various other colors he wears, you know, to match his outfits. I've, like, seen this personally. But his new so-called pro-black show, I'm not going to tune into it. I think it's a whole bunch of BS. You know, he's just talking about the same old things that all these actors, all these so-called black actors talk. Once they've gotten ousted from Hollywood, they take to going the Hotep route. And it's very disingenuous. It really is. You know, because if you see the kind of people he deals with on Wildn'Out, you're going to think different. And like Tommy called it out. Tommy called it out. He even pretty much almost sides with the Alaphbet group. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just here to say on this critique about Nick Cannon and all of a sudden his turn to Hotep and pro-black, it's just laughable. All right, man. I'm out.